Tyler Dunn had a report that came out this week that was, I guess, a little troubling. Basically highlighting kind of getting a little bit more information as to the last 13 seconds of that Bills-Chiefs game. And this is something that we haven't really heard much about thus far, right? It's kind of been the season ended and there was no media staff allowed at locker room cleanout day. It's kind of been mum's the word on this. And then we first see, Dable going to the Giants. There comes out a report with the whole Brian Flores deal about, McDermott kind of being tough to deal with, and Dable was thinking about leaving anyways. Then Tyler Dunn reports that, there was some friction in the locker room, just overall poor communication for that last 13 seconds where he called a squib kick. McDermott called for the kick to go through the end zone, and in that communication, Tyler Bass never really got the change of plans to be doing a squib kick. And there was some other things in there, kind of just overall poor management at the end of the game, which is something we've kind of seen from Sean McDermott at times. Gets a little too conservative, gets a little too cute in the big moments, and kind of outcoaches himself. So I see a lot of people making a really big deal about this, oh, is there a giant riff in the locker room? Is this going to cascade into next season? And my personal stance on this is, I would rather not be getting this kind of news about the team in the offseason here. But I also feel like it's kind of the slow time of the news cycle where, anything people can get their hands on becomes a big story. And we see these kinds of stories come and go throughout the offseason. We saw, the reports of Kyler Murray, not being a good teammate, yada, yada. And that's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit. And, these stories keep getting cycled and replaced with new ones. And I guess my overall feeling is, there was probably some teammate altercations in the locker room following that loss. These are hyper-competitive athletes that just lost in a devastating fashion. So that type of thing doesn't surprise me at all. It honestly would be more concerning to me if everybody walked off the field and everything was all hunky-dory. So it's kind of a little troublesome to hear, but I also feel like this type of thing isn't going to go away until the team is back on the field and competing and winning games. And, there's the old adage of winning cures everything. And I think that's so true that, all these little squabbles, the problems people have with each other, all that kind of goes away once you start winning on the field. So I guess we'll kind of see what else comes out on this story. For me personally, there was some stuff that I didn't love reading, but it also wasn't all that surprising to me. Like I said, the players competing at the top level, having some arguments after the game. I think that's a completely normal thing to happen.